What's going on, comic book gang? It's Josie again, aka You're the Collector, and I bring great news. Tomorrow, once again, is new comic book day. Before we begin, I have a quick announcement to make. There's gonna be some change in the way I'm gonna be flushing out content. I don't want to go into what's going on or what happened in the last issue of the comics that I'm going to highlight on Wednesdays, because I will be doing my quick thoughts and reviews on Saturday overall of every new issue I will read every week, and then I'll click those and you can watch them where you usually watch them. So instead of double dipping on the last issue and then the news issue and then doing all that work and editing in 1 week, we're going to keep Wednesdays short. With that being said, let me tell you the comics I'm picking up on the week of July 4th. First off, we have Absolute Power #1. I'm specifically picking up the cover H by John Timms, which is a connecting variant to 11 of the issues. So yes, crazy. A 12 issue connecting cover variant set by John Timms. Absolute Power #1 is by Mark Waid, Dan Mora, Alejandro Sanchez, Ariana Mayer, and it sets off the mega crossover event for the summer for DC Comics. Really looking forward to it. I've been following Amanda Waller's doings since the dawn of DC began, and after a year of plotting and conning and doing a lot of work behind the scenes, it all comes to head here. Next, I got All the Things We Didn't Do Last Night, the one-shot from Image Comics by Maria Llovet. Maria Llovet's last book was Crave, which I thought it was brilliant. I became a fan, and hence why I'm picking this one up. It's supposed to be an anthology of 3 separate stories about romance, love, and murder. Really looking forward to it. Next up, we got Batman number 150th. The Absolute Power tie-in issue. The last issue was kind of like a soft reset for the character of Batman, and then this one is just straight out jumping into the Absolute Power event. This is by Chip Zdarsrky, Dennis Cowan, Jorge Jimenez, Tommy Mori, and Clayton Collis. We're gonna have all sorts of problems here for the Batman. The Cobblepots are still around. Two-Face Bane, Mr. Freeze, Scarecrow, Failsafe, of course, is back thanks to Amanda Waller. Supposedly, Joe Chill is making a cameo. Who knows what's in store for us in this week's issue of the Batman. Easily my favorite DC comic book on the shelves right now, Birds of Prey #11. The search for Oracle continues. This cover alone by Leonardo Romero just stole the show this week. I'm sorry, everybody else. Here's your second, third, and so forth places. Leonardo Romero takes cover of the week easily. Birds of Prey by Kelly Thompson, Robbi Rodriguez, Javier Pina, Gavin Guidry, Jordie Bellaire, and Clayton Collis. As you know, I have covered extensively the Birds of Prey since they began. I don't see why this issue will be any different. I'm really looking forward to finding out to what world the Birds of Prey got sent to on this issue. Also this week, FYI, if you didn't know, Marvel does this compendium of issues and just hands them out for free. They call the free Marvel must-haves. And this week we have issue #3. In this book, we have The Amazing Spider-Man 39, the beginning of the Gang War storyline of last year. You also have Twilight Dreaming, Part 1, which is from The Avengers by Jed MacKay, Carlos Fabian, Federico Blee, and Cory Petit. And you also have The Mission, which is Moon Knight #1 from the previous run by Jed MacKay as well. And you have there Alexandro Cappuccio, Rochelle Rosenberg, and Cory Petit. This is a really cool project that Marvel started this year, just handing out comic books for free for people to get into. You never know who might become a fan from reading a free comic book. So props to Marvel for doing this. Next up is Justice Society of America issue #10. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even remember what is going on in this story off the top of my head. The last issue came out in March. There's been delays again with another Geoff Johns comic, and understandably so. He launched his own thing independently with Geiger Comics and everything else that's going on over there. But this one specifically is by Geoff Johns, Mikel Janin, Marco Santucci, John Calise, Jordie Bellaire, Ivan Plasencia, and Rob Lee. The JSA book started off really strong. In the first, I would say 5-6 issues, they were very memorable. I could recall what was going on over there, even though they have delays as well. This is not a bad book, but it's suffering from delays. Like I said, this is going to have to be one of those books that I'm gonna have to reread when it's done. But no matter, still a fan of the GSA, and I'm looking forward to see what these old geezers have been up to lately. Poison Ivy number 24, the B cover by David Nakayama, aka DNA. This is by G. Willow Wilson, Janin, Arif Prianto, Shazam, OE. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. I'm sorry. I'm strictly picking up this from my wife. She absolutely loves Poison Ivy. I, not gonna lie, I will probably binge read this when it's completed. So I can't tell you what's going on right now. You're probably gonna have to ask my wife about that. But the Nakayama covers in this run have been excellent. Every single one of them. I don't see why I wouldn't pick this up, regardless if I'm reading it or not. Next up, we got Shazam number 13. This is by Josie Campbell, Mike Norton, Trish Mulvilhilll, and Troy Peteri. Listen, I understand a lot of people lost track or just stopped following this book since Mark Waid and then Mora left. I understand those are big names, big attractions, and a lot of people read books because of the creative team. I am here to tell you this book has not fallen off what it was when Waid and Mora left. I promise you, this is still going strong, and I would say the last issue was probably one of the most impactful comic books I ever read, with Captain Marvel / Shazam in it. Some really heavy family stuff there for you to check out. Please give this book a chance. I promise you, you will not regret it. Another book that surprised me this year is The Boy Wonder. This week we got issue number 3. This is by Juni Ba, Chris O'Halloran, and Aditya Bidikar. This is basically the story of Damian Wayne when he first became the Robin, but with a fairy tale twist to it. And the artwork really complements the storytelling style of Juni Ba. There's a lot of heart and soul and grit into this comic, even though it's being told in the way of a fairy tale. I can see an Eisner Award coming for this book. Absolutely. Next up, we got X-Men Blood Hunt Psylocke, the one-shot tie-in issue to the Blood Hunt event going on in Marvel right now. This is the Peach Momoko variant cover. I am strictly picking all the Peach Momoko covers for Blood Hunt because they all look amazing, and I really love Peach Momoko's artwork. This issue is by Steve Foxe, Lynne, Yoshii, Ruth Redmond, and Ariana Mayer. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know anything about the X-Men per se. Currently, I am picking up this strictly for the cover. However, the last one shot involving the X-Men was about magic, and I absolutely loved that story. So much so that I decided on the X-Men relaunch that is approaching us, I am gonna be reading anything involving the character magic. Who knows? Maybe I like Psylocke too. And finally, last but not least, I am gonna pick up the Spider-Woman Gang War trade by Steve Foxe, Carola Borelli, Arif Prianto, and Joe Sabino. This was an insane family drama story within the confines of what the gang war was, right? Because everybody was scrambling around trying to figure out what the bad guys were doing, who was invading whose territory. And in the middle of all of that, Jessica Drew had to face the fact that Hydra had kidnapped her son, brainwashed him, and turned him into a villain. I don't know what Jessica ever did to Hydra to deserve this. But nonetheless, Steve Foxe wrote a crazy, dramatic story for my favorite character. And I'm going to add this straight to my collection. That is going to be it for me. I want to thank you for watching. You have a blessed day. And remember to read more comics.